Hey guys, Dr. Mike Dusa, MTFU Longevity over 50. Little pose there for you just now. You know, some people ask me, "Hey Doc, why don't you smile more when you pose?" Well, I would if my joints weren't going off like Rice Krispies, snap, crackle, pop, and all the pain that I have when I do that. What I just showed you is not enough. In fact, it's really not even a consideration when we consider the title of this video. When we're considering what women are actually attracted to, it's not that. It's not the muscles. It's a good extra, but if you're skipping all the other important stuff, in fact, this morning I asked Denise to provide me with a list of her top 10 elements that she looks for in a man. And the first thing I did was I scanned the list and I made sure that they applied to me. But from most important to least important, here's her list. This is what Denise said. Number one is personality. Number two is profession. Number three, habits, as in not having excessive drinking. I mean, I have 3 drinks a year. No drugging and no smoking. Excuse me. Number four, looks. Face it, that's an attractor. You really can't get around. 5 is height. 6, you cannot be ill-tempered. Number 7, she doesn't want anyone who's arrogant, although she prefers confidence. She doesn't want any prior involvement in the criminal justice system. I didn't ask her, Denise, does that have anything to do with like traffic violations? That's number 8. Number 9, a sense of humor, and finally, at the end, build. Okay. But you see, I've got to say, Denise and I have known each other for close to 40 years now, 37 years. And when we developed a relationship 3.5 years ago, I was in transition. I was living in an extended stay hotel. I had just gotten over an illness, and I was about 236 pounds. I was 40 plus pounds heavier than what I am right now, and it wasn't muscle. So I was in physical arrears. In fact, if that version of me was sitting right next to me right now, you wouldn't put us together as even distant relatives. Look nothing like the way I do now. But see, she knew me. She knew me as a man, hopefully, of quality fiber, and she would even compliment my body at that time. And I believe her. I mean, it's just that she does not put the preponderance of weight in consideration on my soma, my body, my development. That's a good extra. In fact, we both value our health. Denise, as you may know, I've probably discussed it. She competed in bodybuilding back in the 80s and won like 2 or 3 shows. And she's always been a dancer, and she eats very healthfully. So she looks for those things in people she surrounds herself with, and that's a good thing. But you look at a couple of the gyms I go to several different gyms, and everywhere I look, it's like you're amidst the sea or the land of the angry giants. I'm afraid to make eye contact with a lot of these guys now because they look so pissed off, and they're jacked up and whatnot, and they're walking with the imaginary lat syndrome and all that stuff, and you could just tell they're on edge. And maybe, according to Bob Paris, former bodybuilding champion, and of course Frank Zane, they both coined a term called muscle as emotional armor. And this might be okay when you're in your formative years, when you're younger. Why are you building all that muscle? You're building a cocoon to protect yourself from the rigors and the horrors and the sadness and the beatdowns that the world gives you. But that's hiding. That doesn't correct anything. That's just cosmetic. That doesn't develop your personality or any other elements that will really get you through life the right way. I mean, you just look a certain way. And I think that's a tremendous shortcoming. In fact, when you build all this muscle to get the woman, to get the girl, you look on the internet now, and there's quite a few guys that are my age or older over 50 fitness systems, develop your abs, slim down, get lean, intermittent fasting, this and that, and that's all good and fine. I think everything has value, but there's one guy, and there's probably more than this, but one guy comes to mind where one of his advertising methods is, he's in his 50s, he got in shape, and at the end of his ad, he's sitting in a sports car with a bikini-clad buxom babe that's about 1/3 his age. Now, I'm going to tell you, the media will tell you that the body will get you that stuff, but it won't. And even if it does, guys, look, those goals are the things that probably got you divorced, got you bankrupt, got you out of shape in the first place, and now you're going back to it. So what have you learned? Nothing. And that's not really what, statistically anyhow. I looked at statistics this morning, but I wanted my own statistics from Denise, and both showed me that it's not the body. But I will say this: lifting weights and getting a goal and getting in shape, and all of a sudden the next month you can do 10 or 20 pounds more on the bench or the squat or the curl or whatever it might be. That's progress, and that's great. And even if you're making begrudging progress, that's happiness, that's contentedness for anybody, whether you know it or not, and that builds confidence. So really, you want confidence, you don't want arrogance. And there are factions of people who are attracted to that, but that's the exterior and just the muscularity and all that. And if there's vacuousness after that and there's not much else, well, then the relationship is doomed anyhow, and you just go on this never-ending carousel of different relationships, and you end up a broken, sad, divorced guy at the age of 60 eating in a dank, dark diner alone on a Sunday night. And I don't want to see that happen to you. So, take a look at this list and see how many of these attractors you fulfill in yourself, and you ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. But that's it. If you're, listen, here's to good relationships and happiness and ripped abs and big arms, and but make sure you do for the right reason, and I think you'll be a little happier. But I will tell you this: that's not how you're going to get the woman or the man, for that matter. I don't think in any event. But listen, Dr. Mike Dusa, MTFU, longevity over 50. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.